Dallas at night. Can't even see the game or the Sugar Ray fight. The bill collectors, they ring my phone and scare my wife when I'm not home. Got a bum education, double-digit inflation. Can't take the train to the job. There's a strike at the station.
Hi, this is Babz Rawls-Ivy from New Haven, Connecticut, and you're listening to WNHHLP 103.5 FM, streaming live at newhavenindependent.org.
Edge, I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Good morning. It is Thursday. In the Elm. It's hot as fish grease out here. People mad about it. Not me. I like it. Don't bother me not one bit. I hope everybody is well. Welcome to LoveBabz, LoveTalk. I'm Babz Rawls-Ivy. And it's Thursday. Tomorrow I sit for the LSAT, so I won't be here. Because tomorrow this time I will be in it. Sorry, I'm shining up my face like a penny. I will be in it tomorrow. I start at 8:30, so I should be done by like noon or so. Oh, but I'm into it. So I will be LSAT into it. There won't be a damn thing I could do. So anyway, hope everybody is good. I'm good. The Arts and Ideas Gala is Friday night. I hope to see y'all at the new museum that's opening. Well, it's not open yet, but it will be open, and it has all the things New Haven. all the things New Haven. So all the stuff that you miss seeing. So it's the Rise Gala, Treasuring Great Art and Big Ideas. So tomorrow, and I am I'm their host MC. I'm very excited to step into that role tomorrow. It'll be fun because I like a party. So we're gonna be lost in New Haven. So it's not open to the public yet. So this is if you wanted to see it, wanted to get a early look-see, then this would be your opportunity to take a look-see. So take a look-see, come see it. Next Tuesday is primary election. So Markeisha, myself, and Michelle Turner will be back in the big seats, chopping it up about local politics and the shenanigans. Ooh, Paul, you might want 3 bottles of wine. I have no idea. I don't even know what to say about this election. I don't even know what to say about this cast of candidates. I hope it's good. I hope it's a good election. I'm going to say this again. 8,000 people in this city decide. 8,000. So if you feel like 8,000 is not enough people making a decision about something as important as who the next mayor is, then I would suggest you get your asses out there to vote. It's not enough to have 150,000 people registered and only 8,000 vote. You want to make a difference in your community? Get your asses out there to vote. You want resources allocated to the things that you find are important? Then you must vote. I don't understand why people don't understand this. Voting is not hard. You stand in line, and I'm making a huge judgment here. You stand in line for NBA tickets, Beyonce tickets, all kinds of tickets to ish, but you won't go to the polls, and there's hardly ever any lines at polls. They open at 6 o'clock in the morning, for God's sake, and they close at 8 o'clock at night. So you could actually go on your lunch break It takes 5 seconds to vote. You gotta show your ID, get your little ballot, mark off who the hell it is you want to vote for, put it in the slot, keep it moving, and get a sticker. What the hell is wrong with people? 8,000 people decide. Is that how you really want? You think that's democracy? You think that's democracy? It's not. I mean, high five to the 8,000 people that actually vote, because I'm one of them. I've been voting since I was 18 years old. I've never in my life missed an election. Now, let me tell you something. There was moments when I was like, I don't like none of these candidates. And I felt the overarching desire to like not vote. Like, well, I'm just going to sit on my vote because I don't like none of these people. And then I realized so many people went to their graves just for the right. They didn't go for a like. They went for the right. Do you understand what that means? The right to vote supersedes your damn feelings about a candidate. Exercise the right to vote. I don't care if you have to choose between Satan and Satan's twin brother, Lucifer. Make a damn choice. Exercise the right to vote. Because let me tell you something. There are forces out here that are working very, very, very hard. They get up early in the morning and stay up late at night to find ways to keep you from exercising your right to vote. And it looks like on occasion they are winning. So get your asses out there to vote. It's fat-free and it burns calories. Seriously, exercise your right to vote, because I'm telling you, there are forces among us who are fighting tooth and nail to take that right to vote. And I'm going to tell you something. Once they take that right, baby, it's gonna be hell to try to fight to get it back. They've already gutted so much of the Voting Rights Act, and they're gonna come with everything they have from now until they get it done. Because if you know nothing about the Republican Party, they are diligent. They're not the brightest, but they are diligent. They are diligent. They will work that playbook for centuries to come. And if we rest on our laurels, then shame on us. So 8,000 people in this city to decide the mayor. And that's a shame. So get out there and vote, and drag your neighbors to vote too. It is the right to vote. Exercise it. Exercise the right to vote. So anyway, we'll be talking more about this on the 12th, which is the Democratic primary. See what happens. I don't care if you don't like the candidates. Like? Oh, they didn't let you like? Are you kidding me? You're gonna just base your whole existence on a like? Exercise your right to vote. That's all I'm saying. I don't care. I don't care if you don't like none of these people. I don't like none of these damn people. But I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna walk into my voting place and make the best possible decision in the interest of my community and myself. Did you hear me? I'm going to walk into my polling place and cast my vote in the best interest of my community and myself. That's it. That's it. That's where I'm at. And I need people to get on board with this. I need people to get on board. I need people to get on board. And, these insipid debates that are really not debates. because ain't nobody putting real issues in front of nobody and tackling them in front of a body of a body of audience. Ain't nobody doing that, right? What we have is, a pageant. You might get one or two things that might have some weight or some merit to them, but it's really a pageant, because nobody wants to get into the weeds, or because people, first of all, people have short attention spans and they want to be entertained. So debates look like just opportunities for entertainment. I don't care what debate it is, whether it's at the presidential level or the aldermanic level. It is all designed for entertainment. And I get there's some long sentiment about we should have debates, and we absolutely should have debates, but we're not having debates. We're having beauty pageants. That's what we're having. We're having beauty pageants. They're not debates. We're we might believe that we're asking them some hard-hitting questions, but they're going to spend their time deflecting and talking about stuff that don't got nothing to do with nothing, nobody's everyday practical lives. It's, it's all, grand and nothing concrete, and because nobody wants to say anything that will compromise them or make them explain further what they meant. So we get these, you know what, for me, if the debate just handed them a mic and said, sing something from the American songbook, like 3 songs, you got to sing something from the American songbook, a rap song that you like, and maybe a country western tune. And do it in a nice outfit. Like, I want to see what you wear for evening wear. I want to see what you wear, to go kick it with your friends. And I mean, just make it that. I would have more respect for that, because everything else is just, it's just ridiculous. It's not a debate. It's just not a debate. I don't know. Why are we calling it? Call it what it is. It's a pageant. Come on stage, sit there, be polite. Don't really say too much, because you don't want to be challenged. You don't want to upset people. You don't want to say, hide whatever white supremacy ideology you ascribe to. Hide that. You don't know enough about stuff. Hide that. And convince people that you are the best for this job in ways that don't reveal a damn thing. I know, harsh, right? Harsh? I know, harsh. But it is. It's true. That's how I feel. It's not debates. When I was in college, you know what a debate was? Got with your team, you had your notes. You go with facts, F-A-C-T-S, facts. And it wasn't about being pretty. Of course, you had to have a little bit of showmanship, right? A good command of language and information, facts, all of that. But we moved away from that. I mean, the presidential debate wasn't a debate. It's just an opportunity for them to stand there and just say foolishness. Well, I'm this and I'm that. I mean, just sing a song and be done with it. Tap dance. Do a little soft shoe. That's what I want to see. I mean, American Idol, people vote. They vote for talent. When these political debates happen, talent is not displayed. Rhetoric is displayed, and not even good rhetoric at that. It's just, let me not upset my base, and let me talk down to people because my base isn't bright. So let me talk in terms. Let me sell them something that they could get behind. I know, harsh, right? And you would think that I'm pessimistic. I'm not. I believe in democracy. I believe one man, one vote. I believe in that stuff. I believe that people want a right to choose a government of their making. But I also know Americans are stupid. We've been stupid since the beginning of time. Since we took over this land. And I say we because when I'm in the world, I'm identified as an American. So I'll use the collective we. You know, collective we. I'm just saying. Anyway, that's my political rant for the morning. I'll be back. I got all the way up until November to talk the issue I want to talk. I'm not kidding you. And thanks to all the people who listen in the morning, because y'all let me know the parts that you listen to, the parts that you hear, the parts that you like high five. I appreciate you. I appreciate you greatly. And to all the WNHH hosts who hold me in high regard and esteem. Thank you, Fly Ty and Marcy Lynn, once again, and all the cats, the CCM people, Preston and his partner for their show, Behind the Brand. So there's a bunch of folks that I dig. I listen to the Jazz Cat all the time because I like jazz. I wish he was on more, to tell you the truth. Like I wish he could be on at like 6 a.m. Like that would be such a cool thing to get up in the morning. I mean, I could listen to jazz anywhere. Like I got a whole. I had Spotify, for God's sake. I can listen to jazz at any time. But I just like the way Stan the Man curates his music. I just like it. He thinks he thinks deeply about the stuff that he wants to play, and it's always so good. So I could listen to Stan the Man more than once a week. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So at some point, LoveBabz LoveTalk is gonna get a little makeover. We're gonna get a whole new look, and a little bit of a different feel. I don't think this is my anniversary this month. I don't think so. I think my anniversary is like Black History Month, because I think Paul was like, let's put the Black people on Black History Month. I know if he's listening, he's probably cringing. I don't think that. I do think it's February, though. I do think me going on every single day started in February, because I think when I started, and it's been a minute now since the beginning of the station. I think we're 5 years in, 6 years. I don't know, Harry, correct me. Because I started, it was just like an hour once a week, and then a couple of days, and then it became an everyday kind of thing. And then it became a 2-hour thing, which is nice because I get to have an hour of like this, and then I get to have an hour of a guest. And today my guest is, I'm delighted to have, who am I having on? The New Haven president, Adrian Parkman, Esquire, from the Theta Epsilon Omega chapter of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, because they have their Fête Honor coming up September 16th. So they're going to come on and talk about that. And it's a beautiful flyer. So and it's floating around Facebook, and it's a take on Blanc on Blanc, Blanc on Den. It's a take on that, which is a worldwide phenomenon where you gather some people, they buy a ticket, they got to set up to some specifications, white, tablecloth, table chairs, and then they're text some unspecified, unknown location where they have to meet, set up their table, and then the party commences. So a few years ago, Michelle Turner and Jackie Buster and I, we reached out to the Denon Blanc people, and was thinking about trying to do it here in New Haven. But the three of us are ridiculously busy with way too many projects to try to balance something that big. So anyway, I believe Jazzy's contacted them, got the rights to do it here in New Haven, and is doing it. Now I no longer have the interest in going to a Denon Blanc. I know. I don't mean that nobody should go to that. I think people should go for the experience. But, this was a few years ago when I wanted to do it. Now I'm squarely 60. I don't want to take a damn thing nowhere to set up nothing. That's all. That's just my own weirdness. Before I was all hyped to do it, trick out my table, be ready, be fabulous, put on my stuff. But now I'm like, not so much. But the Noir Blanc by the AKA might get me out, because black is luxury. And I'm all about that luxurious life, because I'm black. Black is luxury. So I'm just saying, that's all I'm saying. So take what you will. I think it'll be a good time. I'm just trying to figure out if I could go, because there's so many things on the plate. Like, my plate is big. Listen, this is not a brag. This is more of a confession. It's not a brag by any stretch of any imagination. It is not. So I'm just telling you. Whew. So that's where we are. So they're going to be on the next hour, and I'm looking forward to talking to them. I love talking to other Black women. I mean, particularly women who run stuff. Because you know what I always say, Black women should just run everything. We should just run everything. I see Governor Kemp is like, I'm not putting together no committee to take that Sister Fanny down. I know them folks is fit to be tied. They just thought, oh, he gonna be on our side because he one of us. He was like, I'm for the laws and the Constitution today. But not when I was running, not when I was overseeing elections. That was a different time. Just a few years ago. Now that I'm squarely in the governor's seat, I have to stand by the Constitution. I have to stand on the Constitution. You know what? I'm glad he was standing at the podium by himself, because I think if lightning would have came, somebody else would have got hit too. I don't even know what to. These people are all out crazy. And this is what I've been doing, Harry. This is why I never thought I'd be one of these people. But I think now I need to get off social media, because I am paying attention to too many opinions. I'm listening to too many opinions. And I feel like Zorro. Like, I feel like I should pull out my sword and walk into battle with these crazy people I don't understand how people get to where they get. I don't get it. People say the most ridiculous things and will believe the most ridiculous of things. And I'm sitting here and I'm reading this and I'm thinking, do they really think this? Oh my God. I was engaged in a friendly conversation with somebody who I don't even know. This brother went up there, who I can't think of his name, but he was one of the ones that Diddy gave their publishing right, gave them back their published stuff. And so he's up there going on about how I don't want the publishing. Why are you giving it to me now? I want the money. And then he's going on to say, this is why he didn't give it back to us, because he was being, a humanitarian, giving money to Jackson State. And I mean, he was just going on to this whole rant, and it just was very personal. And so I go on and I was like, I don't understand this rant. What, okay, so you can not accept this. You could sue him and whatever and get whatever you think. And then somebody comes at me with, oh, well, how do you know he's not suing? And, and Diddy, that's why people leave Diddy. People are so wholly invested in celebrity life that it just blows my mind. Like Diddy cares about anything people are saying on these social media streets that are not intimately involved in these things, in these matters. So the guy was like, blah, blah. So then I was like, okay, so now we know. What do you want the people to know? What do you want people to do about this? Like, you put this out, he's putting this out here, and he wants to talk about it. But for how long and why? And what will this do talking about it? Like, this is not like talking about, I mean, I'm one of these people that believe you tell a story, you take the sting out of what has happened to you. And I guess maybe this is the same sort of vibe for this guy, like, I just want to tell you what's happening. Also, okay, but how long can this go on until you put some action to it? Like, what do you want us to do as the public about this information? I mean, there's nothing that Diddy has that we ought to be boycotting. What should we boycott him? What should we be doing? Should we be sending him mean messages? Like, we don't stop listening to anything from Bad Boy music? Help me understand. What would you like us to do? That was my point. I didn't hear back though. So I'm sure he'll. I mean, it's all been friendly conversation. Like, it hasn't been mean spirited. Like, he didn't call me a bitch or anything. Like, he hasn't done that. It's just been like blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with it. So anyway, that's just where I'm at. So I say that to say I've been paying attention more so than I've ever paid attention to all the comments of things. And I think I'm starting to feel a little disheartened. And I'm, an optimist to my core, but I'm daunted by just the level of ignorance that is so prevailing that it makes me very, very nervous. It just makes me nervous. And it's not because I think that I'm so smart. It's not that, because I don't think I'm the brightest bulb in the bunch. But I will say I possess a great deal of curiosity about the world and the people in it. I have a healthy imagination, and I am curious, about people and their stories. But I've been, and then so there's two tracks to this. I've been paying attention to little known Black history facts, that people are really out here putting out Black history, which it's amazing to me, but it's stunning too, because they're not just coming with, this is what I believe. They're coming with facts to back up what they're saying. Like, this is the incident, here's the proof of the incident. And when you start to look at the level of racism and injustice leveled at Black people, it is quite stunning when you start to lay it all out piece by piece, century by century, of what has been done. And then you come to realize that white people have no idea. They have no idea the handiwork of their ancestors, of what was done. So they have no awareness of it. And so the forces that have awareness are trying to shut down anybody else from having a real awareness and factual information about what was done to Africans in America and indigenous people that were already here. Beyond, the story of, the basic ones that you already know, that they're willing to allow to be taught. But there's so many other stories that are documented that are just ripe for the teaching. And I understand, the more that I learn, the more I'm like, I get it. They don't want people to be united around these stories. Because then, and this is what I believe, because then rap artists and other artists would draw from a full story about who we are in this country, and that we wouldn't have to sink to the lowest levels of what was told to us about who we are as a people, and that the keeping it real mentality is not really keeping it real. It is keeping us hostage, right, to a narrative that is not true, right? So, because I believe when the people know their history and their story, they act accordingly. They act accordingly when you know from whom you came and from whence you came. So that's a level of empowering that you don't want to have if you are in a correctional mindset, right? Like, and by correctional, I mean, if you in a jail them mindset about Black and brown people, you don't want them to be empowered. You don't want them to stand in their history. You don't want them to know that people were resisting from the moment that they were taken from the shores of the continent and brought here. There was resistance every step of the way, that we didn't just get here and lay down and just like, oh, massa. No, people were resisting at every turn, forever and ever and ever. But those are dangerous stories to tell. And if you tell those dangerous stories, guess what happens? People get empowered. No, we no longer see ourselves as inferior and substandard, that we can elevate our artistic value above and beyond what was told to us. That if it wasn't for Black people in the world, Europe would still not be washing their asses and speaking languages, learning how to read. They wouldn't have universities or libraries, because it was Black people that created universities and monetary ways to trade. It was Black people that ruled the world first. So if you tell that story, then guess what happens? People get empowered, sense of pride, dignity takes its rightful place in communities, and people no longer feel like they are ashamed to be on the back end, on the receiving end of some fake ass benevolence done to them by people who enslaved them. To be pro-Black is not to be anti-anything except white supremacy. And you don't have to be white to do the work of white supremacy, because the work of white supremacy is ingrained in the very fabric of this country and in all the documents. It is enshrined in the Constitution. It is enshrined in the Bill of Rights. It is enshrined in every law in this land. It is. So an empowered people is a dangerous people. And you don't got to look to America to see that. Just look at Taiwan. How much freedom they want from China. They want to be free. Look at Ukraine and all those countries that used to be USSR. They want their freedom. You get a taste of freedom, you cannot go back. You can't. You can't. What does Frederick Douglass say? Education makes a man unfit for slavery. It does. I'll call you one better, Frederick. And empowered and educated, empowerment and education makes anybody unfit to be a slave. Empowered just means you have freedom to grow your mind and think beyond the boundaries of somebody else's limitations for you. You know, that's really what that is. That's what empowerment is. You know, that you take the tools in front of you and you use them accordingly to further your dreams. You know, we should be teaching ways that children can be imaginative in school, not teaching to a damn test. What is that? Why? That doesn't measure anything. We should be teaching kids to be imaginative, to dream, to look out. There should be windows in every classroom so kids can look out and daydream and imagine. I wonder what's over there. I wonder what it feels like on a cool day to be outside running through the fields. That's what we should be teaching. Not this. Okay, we got to get these test scores up. We're going to take away your recess. We're going to cut your lunchtime because we need you sitting at chained to this desk figuring out 1 + 1 is 2. and reading. Bob jumps over Jill and Jane runs down the hill and all the land is full of plan and ha ha we go. Right? I'm just saying. Imagine if we taught imagination. Listen, who's excited about the Rolling Stones putting out new music? Am I the only one? Mick Jagger's like 80-something years old. And he's still out here, getting it in. And he's a new dad too. Men could do that stupid mess. Women are not about it. I don't know no woman who wants to be a mother at 80 years old. I don't know no woman who wants to be I don't even know a woman who wants to be a grandmother at 80 years old, let alone trying to birth some children. But men have that ability. And he didn't get no 80-year-old woman pregnant. He got a young boo thing with, all her eggs and ovaries intact. I'm not trying to be vulgar. I'm not. But he's got a new album coming out. He's got a young girlfriend. They got some children. He's got a bunch of kids already. He's even got a black kid. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, he's got kids old enough to be his new kids' parents. He's got 8 kids. Eight kids. Karis, Jade, Elizabeth, James, Georgia May, Lucas, Gabrielle, and Deborah Rowe. And they all got them lips. That's how you know them Mick Jagger kids. So his oldest daughter, Carissa Hunt Jagger, the black one, she's 52 years old. She was born in 1970. Wow. Oh, she graduated from Yale in 1992. She's married and they got 2 children. Excuse me. And she is the executive producer of Netflix High on the Hog, How African American Cuisine Transformed America, which is one of my favorite documentaries. I love this so much. I should go back and watch it because it was so moving. So, Jade is 51. Her name is Jade Sheena Jezebel Jagger. And she's the daughter of Mick and Bianca Jagger, who was born in 1971. So, because Bianca and Mick were married in 1971 and divorced in 1978. They were only married for 8 years, but they seem to be legendary. That marriage seems to be still in the forefront of people's mind. So she's a jewelry designer. She's a mom with 3 kids. She's got a couple of kids with, a longtime partner, former partner, and then she's got a husband, and she's a grandmother. Whew. Okay. So yeah, so she talks about her father has 8 children with 5 partners. And so they all meet up for the holidays in the Caribbean. And then sometimes they go on the road with the Rolling Stones. Some of the kids go on tour with their dad. Elizabeth Scarlett Jagger. I guess, she's the daughter with Jerry Hall. So of course she would have Scarlett. And she was born in 1984. And Jerry Hall married Mick Jagger in November of 1990 in a Hindu ceremony in Bali. And then they divorced in 1999. So he got about he averages about 8-9 years with women. And that daughter is a model for Terry Mugler. So they had one kid together. Okay. So they're all close though. And then there's James Leroy Augustin Jagger. He's 38. Another kid with Jerry Hall. He's not as good looking as everybody else. He looks like his mother in a weird sort of way. He was born in 85. He's a musician. Maybe that's just a bad picture. Then Georgia May Aisha Jagger, another Hall Jagger baby, 1992. She's a model. You know, they all got them lips. Gabrielle Luke Beauregard Jagger, 25. This one, fourth wife. Oh, this is still with Jerry Hall. So he got how many kids he got with this woman? And then, okay, that kid is married. And then, so, all right, and then Lucas Maurice Murad Jagger is 24. And this child is, the mother is Brazilian lingerie model Luciana Jimenez Murad, was born 1999. So he's 24. Good grief. So fashion-y kind of person, traveler, spends time in Budapest, Hungary, Milan, that kind of stuff. Caught his father's Rolling Stone show in Madrid. Okay. They get together. Devereaux Octavian Basil Jagger is 6. Got them lips. 8th child, born 2016. This kid's mother is American ballerina Melanie Hamrick. So let's see. So Mick was 73 when this child was born, and his mother is 29. Oof. Okay. And then that's the last kid, right? I think that's the last kid. Yeah. So, okay. So he's got a bunch of kids, 8 kids. That's a lot of kids, Mick. But, they get together, they do their thing. So he's got a black kid. I mean, it's like the Rainbow Coalition over there. I'm like, all right, we got a bunch of kids. And it's a lot. But, God bless him. I know one thing. He's 80-something years old. I know no woman is there's no woman on this planet that's having no babies at 80. So men could do that. So that's why I don't understand this whole birth control foolishness. Men could be out here getting women pregnant until to their last breath. and nobody is talking about curtailing their ability to choose healthcare, reproductive health care for themselves. No one. There's no one fighting to have men permanently altered to well, it's not even permanent. You know, you could get a little snip and then come back at it when you're ready to have children. I don't hear any a vasectomy. I don't hear anybody touting that as a real option. I just hear the loud cries of hatred of women and agency over their bodies. I don't hear anybody saying to men, I don't see no legislation on any floor of any house in any part of this country that says all 13-year-old boys should have a vasectomy and then prove their parental fitness to get it reversed when they're ready to marry and have children. Marry and have children. I don't see anybody with signs of that up at abortion clinics. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll put a sign up. This is what I'm proposing, that any male child at the age of 13 ought to have a vasectomy. And when they have passed tests proving their parental fitness, and with a proposal of marriage in hand, that they could get it reversed. Right? That just seems way more logical to me than trying to blow up abortion clinics. I mean, if you really, I mean, that's akin to swimming upstream and finding out what the problem is. Well, the problem is men and sperm. It's not women. Women are the receptacle of the sperm. Men are the makers of the sperm. Wouldn't you go to the manufacturer? Wouldn't you go to the manufacturer before you went to the person who is like buying the, you know what I mean? Like, why are we having these conversations? Because we live in a highly patriarchal society that hates women, and they don't want women to breathe without men saying, okay, you could breathe. I'm convinced, because if women across this country said, we'll just stop having sex with y'all. And that goes for sex workers across the board. Like, just stop entertaining men and their notions of beauty, their notions of intelligence, their notions of sex appeal. Just stop entertaining it. Stop talking to men altogether. Like, you don't see us no way, so why you want to have a conversation with us? Spend the money and get you an AI generated doll. That seems to be more to your liking. You can control that. You can't get them pregnant yet. So that's just my take on it. I could be wrong. I do not profess to be right, except about things in my own life. I only profess to be right about, and even then it's sketchy. So I'm just saying, nice hat, Harry. Harry got his Puerto Rican hat on, looking like a Puerto Rican sugar guy. He looks like a sugar daddy. And I mean like sugar cane daddy. So anyway, I'm just saying that's where I'm at. And I got a lot of thoughts today. Lots and lots. But I do think I have to take a pause off of all these ridiculous posts that people put up, because it just I just go down I find myself going down the rabbit hole, and I my Facebook page is full of positivity and all kinds of good stuff. So that means I go outside of it to look at all this ridiculous stuff and the comments of stupid people. I think because it never occurred to me there was that many people in the world who just are so off the rails that's just so off the rails. It just, I guess I'm stunned by that. And so I keep reading this stuff thinking there's some light at the end of the tunnel. And I have to tell myself, no, you're in the tunnel and you have to be the light and get out. I think that's what I have to do. And just stop, you know. So I think that's what I made up my mind. That's what I'm going to do. Because I feel not, it doesn't depress. I don't feel depressed. I think I'm in the anger, annoyed state. And I don't want it to go further, even though I've engaged. But it was a friendly engagement with this last guy. But I think that's it for me. Like, I think I have to pull up from, you know, having these conversations with people. Not because I don't want to learn. I just don't have the energy to sift through that level of foolishness, you know, to get to some, to make some connection around. Let me tell you why you might be, let me get you to think about something a little differently than what you currently think about. You know, rather than just saying people are wrong, and they are wrong, and they are stupid. But if you could, you know, I don't want to spend any more energy trying to educate and reorient people to a different truth. I don't feel uniquely called to that. I just don't. So I think it's easier to just let people wallow in their ignorance, and it's deliberate and willful on so many levels. You know, I love these cats that run up on these Trump supporters and they have these engaged in a conversation, and they just make no sense. And I'm like, man, it must be hard to live in a world like that. And then no, because they're white and they just believe in the whiteness of whiteness. And so it's not hard for them. They could just be willfully and deliberately ignorant and go on and live fruitful, productive lives under fascism and be happy about that. So anyway, I'm gonna take a break. I'll be back with the sisters of Alpha Kappa Alpha, the Theta Epsilon Omega chapter, and their president, Adrian Parkman Esquire, to talk about Fête en Or, which is happening September 16th. So I'll be right back. Y'all hang out.
Hi, this is Babz Rawls-Ivy from New Haven, Connecticut, and you're listening to WNHHLP 103.5 FM, streaming live at newhavenindependent.org.
Bass. Vision, dreams of passion, and all the while I think of you. A very strange reaction. The more I see, the more I do. Baby,